We're going to be going beyond the planner today. Yes, I am all for using a planner and making sure you're blocking out time and getting things done by understanding what exactly needs to be done. I'm all about that. But there are things that can be done outside of your planner, things that you can make as habits so that you can just get them done automatically that we need to talk about and we need to get in your life. Most of the people that I know who have a mess in their homes, they got a lot going on upstairs. And it's not always something that is helpful for them. In fact, many times what's going on in their minds is actually what causes the mess that is in their homes and their offices and their cars. When you've got a lot of stuff going on in your head, you're constantly thinking and worrying and wondering and not understanding where you stand, where you're headed. When all of that stuff is always going on, your home and your car are going to reflect that. So if you're feeling like life is out of control, life will be out of control in your living spaces and your workspaces. If you're feeling like you never seem to be able to zero in on any particular task, then there are going to be 50 million tasks sitting in front of you in the form of a mess that prove what it is that you're thinking. So if you say to yourself, my life is a mess, well, then you're going to create a mess so that you can prove that you're right. We all have a need to feel as though we are an expert at something, that we're right about something. And even if it's not healthy, we'll go out of our way to prove ourselves right. So sometimes the mess that's going on in your head is caused by external factors. It's not just you, right? But that doesn't change how it plays out in your everyday life. It can still be disruptive. So these two things work hand in hand, and it's important not to discount either side. What's going on in your home or in your business needs to be tended to. What's going on in your mind needs to be tended to, because when you are more motivated and empowered, you are more likely to get things done. So as we take ourselves away from the planner, recognize the planner stuff isn't going to work if the messy mind is still there, or if the mess is still everywhere else. In fact, the chances of you accomplishing the things on that planner diminish with every new mess that goes on inside your head. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about what my life has been like lately. This whole last month has been unusual in that I've had a lot of traveling that I've been doing. I've been getting a lot of guests here at the house, and there have been so many things going on inside the family, a lot of changes and transitions. And so this was not a normal month, but I chose to take part in the craziness because I wanted to see friends. I wanted to see family. I wanted to be around some of the transitions to make sure that everybody was okay. Like, I made choices to get myself in the fray and get my mind in a more messy state. But there was also a good thing that came out of this. You see, sometimes when there's something to do, it seems very small. And so we sort of push it aside. No problem. It's a small thing. I'll get it done later. But then another small thing comes about and you're pushing that to the side, and then another thing, and you're pushing that to the side until you've got this whole mountain of things that need to get done. And then all of a sudden, this tiny little task becomes something altogether too big to finish in an afternoon. But now you've got guests coming. Or if this was a work situation, now you've got a very big meeting coming up, or the team is headed out in order to analyze what's going on with the work, right? There is a big event that makes it so that you've got a deadline to get things done. So because I had company in my home, I'll go with that example. There's a room that is used for storage for all of the things that are used at my live retreats. And this room is mildly clean. I mean, it's not like a huge mess all the time, but when there's been an event, all of a sudden things have come out of the closet and things have gotten spread out and then moved out to the event and then brought back. And so things kind of get in disarray. To build on that, it is a guest room, or at least it has been historically a guest room. But this year, because of differences going on inside the house, there were actually 2 mattresses in the room and a bigger bed than normal and extra blankets and extra pillows and extra this and extra that. And so when I needed to prep this particular room for one of the guests, it was not just a matter of put on new sheets and vacuum the floor. This was a 5-hour endeavor. Get all of the things put away from the retreats. This broken shelf that we haven't tended to, that needs to be fixed. The bed needs to be put together. So basically, in the long run, having a deadline made it so that I actually got the room clean and got all of the business stuff taken care of. And all of the extra little things that were saved for later were finally done. Having a deadline is absolutely a miracle for finding success when you're trying to clear up the messy mind or the messy work area. So when you don't have people coming to visit or you don't have a big meeting coming, what do you do? So this is when you go back to the planner and you actually put on the planner something that needs to be done, like invite people over, plan the meeting, get it on the planner so that you have to get these tasks done. And here's the deal. Maybe even choose the one area that needs the most work. This is a beautiful way of keeping yourself on task and making sure that you get things done. But if you can also try making it a promise that you make to yourself and you can live up to that, then you prove to yourself that you're trustworthy, that you can get things done, that you are worthy of the responsibility of taking care of your own life. Now, I call that the house guest edge. When you get a little bit of an edge because you know that people are coming and you got to take care of it. So when you're promising yourself, that's the personal promise edge. But you have to prove to yourself that you're trustworthy or else that edge doesn't exist. So make sure when you're putting it on your planner or you're planning to get it done outside of your planner block time, that you actually do it. You actually take the time. Now, I want to talk about getting things done simply for the approval or the comfort of others. And the thing I want to bring up is actually a question. Why would you not be doing these things for the comfort of, or approval of yourself? What is it that makes it so that you're trying harder when other people are involved? Like, this is something that you really need to look at. You really need to understand. What is it about the other people that you're not recognizing in yourself? Because here's the deal. You are other people to someone else. And they're probably working really hard to make sure you've got what you need. So why aren't you doing that for you? When you're doing the block organizing on your planner, stick to it. Do it. Make a commitment and really follow through. One of the things that I've been doing is adding tasks to things that already are getting done, like brushing my teeth in the morning. I'm going to share this with you. I brush my teeth with an electric toothbrush. It goes for 2 minutes before it gives me a notification that, okay, you've got 2 minutes done. That's 30 seconds on each quadrant of my mouth. So that's a good amount of brushing, right? And what I do is I do leg lifts while that brushing is going on. It's a good solid 60 leg lifts on each side, so that 2 minutes pass and I've not only brushed my teeth, but I've worked my glutes and my legs, and everything just feels really great in my lower back before I even start my day, and then again at the end of the day. I just added a task that's healthy for me to an everyday activity that I needed to get done. This is a great way to accomplish more than if you're just going for one task at a time without overworking yourself. right? It's important that we don't do too much, but that we do enough. And the other thing is that grab and drop method, where you're picking something up on your way to doing something else, making sure that you're setting yourself up for success as you're going on to your next task. That's the grab and drop method. And I call it that because you say you've got something you need to take upstairs, but you don't want to go upstairs yet. When you take it, you grab it, bring it with you, and you just drop it at the bottom of the stairs. It's there for you when you're ready to go up. All of these things are really helpful for keeping yourself on track and organized. So you are in control of things. You are the one who makes a choice of whether or not you're going to stick to your tasks. It's totally up to you. You can be your own superhero. You can be the person that you can always trust, or you can be the person who drops the ball. It's totally up to you. But don't you think it'll feel much better if you live up to the commitments you make to yourself? And if you're not just waiting to give yourself that house guest edge, you're getting things done because they need to get done? How motivated you will be when you get the first thing done. How motivated you will be when you realize that doing tasks for you holds more value than just getting things done. It helps you to realize you can trust yourself. It helps you to realize that what you say is true. And when you can do that with yourself, it amplifies the relationships you have with other people.